Oh, great. I set the file down and it changed my speaker. I hate these stupid little fobs that are right there at level of your elbows and stuff that you. I put the file down on top of it and it took my microphone down to nothing. All right, Miss Elliott, can you hear me? You and your client?
Yes, yes.
Yep.
All right, and Miss Broughton, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, we are here in the matter of Klotz versus Broughton case. This matter is still pending at the front of the court.
Um,
My questions are twofold. One, if I go through the correct analysis of this, because in review of last October's hearing, and the front of the court notified me about the same time that this default was entered, that they had not processed the October reference. So this court reissued the order of reference on March 14th. So this matter is still pending. The other thing, before any order can be entered, it's got to be in the best interest of the children. I'm trying to figure out, because as we talked last time, the child has been living with Miss Broughton, not with Mr. Klotz, and this order effectively gives him custody. And I'm trying to figure out how that would be even appropriate, nor in the best interest of the child. As well, I don't think he understands what he filled out, but he filled out the UCSO, the child support order, giving her 365 days a year.
yeah, so Your Honor, I was just retained on this yesterday.
I figured, and yeah, you probably haven't had a
Late
chance to look at
afternoon.
everything. Yeah, but at this point, I'm
Yeah.
going to have to deny the default entry simply because, the pending front of the court issues on custody, parenting time, and child support, and the conflict within this judgment itself. Because a default judgment can't just switch custody with no explanation, or it's got, again, one of the questions asked in any default is this in the best interest of your child or children? In this case, entering a default judgment, I learned my lesson a long time ago. I did enter a couple of these once by accident. And then the person comes in and asks for me to enforce it. And then I find out the kid's never lived with them and they haven't seen the kid in 2 years.
Yeah, so
And I'm like,
currently,
I can't do that.
so I'm wondering if you can rule on the previous motion for a temporary order, because the minor child is full-time with my client. And there's concerns about
That's not what he said last October. He said that the child had been living with Haley since April. That's what the record is. So it's not the case.
It changed in February. It changed on February 1st. I started watching him full time, and then she just
and how is that? How did that happen?
I just asked her if I could take him. I didn't feel like she was again living in the best lifestyle.
So are you withholding the child from her?
I in a way, but that's just because I don't feel safe with the environment that he's in.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
I haven't had contact with my son in almost 3 weeks, except for about 5 minutes on his birthday.
Miss Elliott, you might want to inform your client appropriately, because she has sole legal and sole physical custody at this time pursuant to statute, and he could be up for kidnapping charges. So I suggest you work with the parties. Miss Broughton, I would ask that once you get the child back, that parenting time be discussed between the two of you so that the child does see both of you. Mr. Klotz, I understand that you probably misspoke a little bit, but what you just said places you in a very precarious position. But the front of the court will be getting a hold of this. I suggest you cooperate with the front of the court. If there are concerns, Miss Elliott, I will reopen discovery for you so that you may do whatever discovery is necessary to ascertain what the problems are, if there are any problems.
So right now, our main concern is drug use by mom.
Mm-hmm.
Would the court order any drug testing prior to parenting time?
I would allow the front of the court to look into that more frequently. I've got nothing here other than bare allegations of concern. And the child's been living with her as of last October, at least from April to October, with him having minimal contact, but some contact. Now it seems like there's been minimal contact by him, but now he's taken over. And without CPS intervention, I've got concerns about what he is doing with the child. This is not a piece of property. I mean, do we have the police involved at all?
Not at this time, correct?
No.
So right now there has been another referral to the front of the court.
Yeah, it turns out they didn't get the one I sent October 15th, I think, or 16th. They either didn't get it or did not process it appropriately. Once they found the issue, somebody contacted my clerk, who then reissued it on March 14th, and I signed it on March 14th. When doing 30 to 70 hearings a week, sometimes one slips through the cracks. I would have never known that the front of the court didn't do this. I always presume my orders are being followed. Turns out that in this case, I guess they found it, and it slipped through a crack because of the holidays. And so I just reissued the order on March 14th, which happens to coincide with the day he filed for the default.
Okay, I see what's happening. All right,
Yeah.
so they'll get notification from friend of the court
Right.
about the meeting and so forth.
Correct. And I'll tell you what, let's nip this in the bud. I will order both parties to do a drug test. That way, because if one's going to, I have had in court, we do have the ability in person to drop you right there and then. We send you down to the second floor of the courthouse. And I can tell you in 60% of the cases, the person accused generally comes back negative. The person that's making the accusation comes back positive. I've always found that interesting, but that's been the past. So hopefully you guys are in the 40% and maybe both of you test negative. That would be the appropriate thing. But that way, Ms. Hanson, if some of those tests come back positive, you may file the appropriate motion. Okay.
Okay, so I'll do a order under the 7-day rule at this point.
For a drug screen by both, to be completed by both parties, and each can pay for their own. All right.
Thank you,
Good luck,
Your
and
Honor.
then we'll see what happens with this. Now you just threw out a bunch of facts that are not in the file, not before the court. So see if you can file the appropriate motion if necessary. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good. Well, don't thank me on the. This is one of those mornings that nobody's going to have to be able to thank me. All I'm trying to do is get everybody through this. Good luck to both of you, and hopefully everything is done safely and in accordance with the law. Take care.
Thank you.
We gonna have any normal cases this morning?
Yeah, we'll see. I'm just gonna identify this phone number. I think I know who it is.
Okay.
07342. Can you identify yourself?
Yes, Devani Gory.
All right. So we can begin with Gory, or we can do Corey versus Washington.
How are you this morning, Miss Gorey?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. We're just waiting for Mr. Washington to connect. Looks like he just may have. Wonderful. Chauncey, can you unmute, sir?
I'm trying to unmute it.
Well, you did it. All righty. This is we are here in the matter of Gorey versus Washington. Mr. Washington, this is your motion. What do you have to add to it?
Nothing much. I'm just trying to see my child. That's it, sir.
Well, that's what I can help you with. I cannot grant you custody like you have requested. When did you go to prison and how long were you in?
I went to prison in 2022. I did almost 2 years.
So you just got out recently?
Yes, a month ago.
Okay.
Literally a month ago.
All right. Miss Gorey, what's your input here? I didn't get a response from you.
Oh, I had sent my response yet, but my input on it is Chauncey has been locked up she's 9, for 6 years of her life off and on.
Yeah.
So you can't just come in. In the 2 years he was locked up, she never got a letter from him. She never got a phone call from him. She never got anything from him. So I will let him see her weekends, but you're not getting custody.
No, I just said I'm denying that. I can't grant him custody under these facts. There's no way. You've had custody all this time, but parenting time is something that can be looked at by the court. So what I'm going to do is send this to the front of the court. The fees have been waived in this matter. So I'll send it to the front of the court for parenting time and child support to have those reviewed. Mr. Washington, because of the background of this case, parenting time will probably start off a little slow, but it'll eventually get up to normal, probably within 6 months to a year. And, hopefully you don't go back to prison in that time period.
I haven't been in prison since 2000.
You just said you went in 2020.
Years.
You just said you went into prison in 2022 and you were in for 2 years.
Yeah, I'm saying before that. So for her to say,
understood, but there's a history here. What we're trying to do is we're going to make sure that if parenting time is mandated by law, it's just got to be able to be done safely, and we need to know that the child knows you well enough to really get parenting time up there. Like I'm saying, and warning is just that this is going to happen. Miss Gorey sounds like she's going to be a little bit able to facilitate that, but I'm going to send you to the front of the court so you guys can get the appropriate specific parenting time court orders and child support reviewed. Okay? So I'm granting your motion to the extent that we're going to get you to see your child again, Mr. Washington. I hope everything's going well. I hope you're doing well in the community. Miss Gory, I hope everything's going well, and I hope your daughter's okay. All right.
Yes.
You
Thank
two
you.
have a good after. They'll be contacting you within the next 2 to 3 weeks, sir.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
You take care. Stay safe, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Anytime. And by the way, that Smith motion that's coming up later, I did what I normally don't tell them I won't do, and that's change parenting time on a Friday morning, and I did it, and they're coming back 4 weeks later because, like I warned people, you don't want me doing this on a Friday morning.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know enough. You haven't told me enough.
All right. We
Next.
can do Gonzalez versus Gonzalez.
Miss Gonzalez, did you connect?
Yes, I did. I'm just gonna give it a second to pull over because I was driving on my
Please.
way to work, but since I only work part-time, it would be hard for me to miss. So
No problem. Please pull over as soon as you get a chance. Mr. Gonzalez, did you connect?
Yes.
We will wait to start the case until Miss Gonzalez parks. I should have done this in the last case. I think he was driving, but I knew it was going to be a quick thing, so.
okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, as long as-
Yes.
Okay, everybody's settled. So we're here in the matter of Gonzalez versus Gonzalez. I've read your motion, Miss Gonzalez. What do you have to add to it?
Well, the case got closed. There's no criminal.
Oh, okay.
No
So CP Child Protective Services has now closed their case. They are not terminating his parental rights.
No, the CPS case is still open. He has his next court on April 23rd, I believe.
Then what case are you saying is closed?
The criminal side. There was no
the criminal side. Yeah, there is a difference in
Yes.
burden between the criminal court and the Mr. Gonzalez, what is going on with the Child Protective Services case?
Well, they just said I have the court coming up on the 23rd, I believe.
Okay. Is that in Kent County or some other county?
Iowa.
It's Ionia?
Yeah, where's it?
Ingham.
Ingham County? Oh, it's in Ingham County. Okay. Are you allowed to see your child in that case, Mr. Gonzalez?
They told me I couldn't see them until further notice, but I mean, I haven't heard nothing from them.
So you've had your parenting time suspended in that case.
Yeah.
Okay. What I'm going to do is we're going to meet again. Ms. Gonzalez, do you have contact with any of the CPS workers? Are they involving you in this case?
Yes, I am involved as well. I do have a CPS case open as well during this, but we have different CPS cases.
I was going to say you, Ms. Gonzalez, have custody of the child, correct?
Correct.
And they have not removed the child from you.
Nope, he was just with she said it was like he was with me and then something adoption or something like that. That's why they wanted me to do like full custody so I can be the legal parent, something like that.
Who is your worker?
Latoya.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I am going to temporarily suspend, Mr. Gonzalez, your parenting time due to the Child Protective Services case that's involved. I think they've probably already asked you not to suspend it voluntarily, but I'm going to officially do it. But we're going to meet after, you said the hearing's on the 23rd of April?
Yeah.
Correct.
All right, we're going to meet maybe the first week of May or so. I'd like to talk to the CPS workers involved and find out what's going on so that we may proceed safely for the child. Okay. I realize they've dropped the criminal case, but there are different burdens between criminal and the civil protective services case. So what I want to do is, and what I always do is I act in accordance with protecting the child in the child's best interest temporarily, and we'll see how this process moves along. But we'll meet at a settlement conference where we can get some more information on how to proceed. But I will temporarily suspend his parenting time due to this Child Protective Services case in Ionia County. All right. Anything else from either of you?
Yep. It's in Ingham County.
Ingham, I apologize.
Yeah. No, you're fine.
It's one of those It's one of those I counties.
Yeah. So will you do that on your own?
I will do the order.
Okay.
Suspend parenting time until further order, and then we'll see how to proceed. All right.
Okay.
That way we can do so safely. All right. Have a good morning. Take care to both of you. Mr. Gonzalez, good luck. All right.
Thank you.
Good morning, Ms. Plesak. What matter are you here on? Oh, should have checked if she connected first.
I'm here.
Okay, what matter
Hi.
are you here on?
I was here for Catherine Dunbeck.
Okay, we have not called that. Are you representing?
I'm just I work for Arbor Circle. I'm her wraparound coordinator. She asked me to join. So
Okay,
I can
if we need you, we may need you. We'll see. Okay.
no problem. Thank you.
Alrighty, no problem. Thank you for being here.
Mhm.
I've seen way too much of you and you don't even know it, Mr. Krupp. I'm having to rewatch a hearing from 4 years ago that you were involved with at the time.
Oh, really? Okay.
And trying to get the Kuiper case. They've changed the recording system at the courthouse since we did that in person.
Yeah.
My ability to watch it has been curtailed.
Oh.
So I'm back to only being able to watch it at the courthouse, which means I don't have time. That's why it keeps getting adjourned, because we keep working on trying to get me to be able to watch it at home. Because normally I rewatch the hearings at night and on the weekends.
Yeah.
Because that's when I have
Speaking
time.
of watching it, you are a YouTube sensation.
Yeah, so I heard.
How are they able to do that?
They're
Who's
not. That's why
recording?
all over the nation.
Mm.
I'm waiting to hear from the Supreme Court, because one of the parties objected to the Supreme Court. They thought the court did it on purpose. Of course, we did not. When I first saw that, my heartbeat went up to 120 beats a minute, and I was dumbfounded. I know.
No, there's another one out there.
Oh,
that just came out.
there's dozens.
Mhm. Yeah,
and some of them are being recorded despite the fact that this recording signed the prohibition on recording. We are here on a motion from the Kent County Prosecutor's Office for this on behalf of the state of Michigan. Ms. Spate, you didn't bring this case, neither did the father. This is a case brought by the state because state aid's involved. So that's the only reason we're here. Sorry for the interruption in your life, but the state mandates that we do this to keep state aid flowing to the children or the child. Okay, so that's why we're here. So I'll let the state proceed with its motion. I will note this matter was set for a hearing at 10:30. It's now 10:35. Mr. Price did not appear. We will bring him in if he does show, but at this point in time, we will proceed. Miss Brower, what is the please place the motion on the record.
I sure will. Your Honor, I scheduled a pre-hearing conference for March 14th, 2024. The plaintiff only participated. I called the defendant 3 times and he did not answer. I used the plaintiff's actual income when running guidelines. She earns $18.61 an hour at 40 hours per week. She also has a second job at J.C. Penney's, but she only works 2 hours per week there. So I did not use the income from that job.
The way this recommendation reads, this is based 99.8% on his income. Her income's not very relevant to the mathematics.
Mm-hmm.
I could double her income or cut it in half, and it's not going to change because this is based solely on his income.
Mm-hmm.
So please proceed. Sorry.
Okay.
I just thought before you went down that rabbit hole of telling me all about her income and what she earns, I'm like, mathematically it's not relevant. So.
Yep. Regarding the defendant, I imputed him to $15 an hour at 35 hours per week. He has worked at PEG Staffing, Preferred Building Services, and also at Grand Rapids Community College. I am asking that the court enter the proposed judgment as well as the UCSO. It's my understanding that the minor children do not spend overnights with dad.
And that's why mathematically her income is not relevant.
Mm-hmm.
So, but in any event, Ms. Spate, is there anything you'd like to add?
I can't think of anything at the moment.
What I will warn you is that because the state is involved and this is done because of state aid, the state will probably be they will be taking some of the child support that's paid to reimburse the state for what they pay on behalf of the children. Okay, just to warn you that just because what the number is, that may not be the number you receive. But I don't have any idea how much they'll take because I don't know what type of state aid you're on.
Okay.
All right.
I only receive. Well,
no need. That's, even if you told me, I still couldn't tell you. Because that's all done by DHHS and it's done once the court orders are in place and it's per their policies. Okay. So have a good morning. I just wanted to warn you that you're not going to get the full amount more than likely.
Okay.
All right. And then child support is always reviewable. So he may come back and have this reviewed at any time in the future too. So may you. All right.